Would you please rise in body or spirit as you are able as we sing our gathering hymn, number 70, Keep High the Farmer's Wintry Hoard.
Good morning. We did it. I heard somebody say we did it, and we did it. We sang the hymn, and that was good. It's really good to see you guys. And I want to give you folks a key. I want to give you a key, and I don't want you to lose it because it'll open so many doors for you. I mean, for a long period of time, it's a great key. It's a question. The question is simply, when you see somebody, when you meet somebody, one of the best things you can just say is, tell me something about yourself. Tell me something about yourself. That is a key that'll get you into so many wonderful places. So let's try it out. I'm gonna ask you all to just sort of, you may not have time to follow through on the conversation, but it's a really great way to begin to enter into somebody else's world. They let you in where they want you to come in. So why don't we just take a moment to say greetings to one another, and you might not be able to quite follow through on that one, but it's a good key, and I want you to hold on to it and remember it. But take a moment now to greet one another. And well, that's it. You've learned enough about each other. Now let's come back together again. I'm so glad to see all of you here today. Love to especially welcome the visitors. If you've never been here before, welcome, and I hope you'll feel at home very, very quickly. So thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting with each other, and we'll continue on with our service. Good morning.
Good morning. Mindful of truth, ever exceeding our knowledge, and community, ever exceeding our practice. Reverently we covenant together, beginning with ourselves as we are, to share the strength of integrity and the heritage of the Spirit in the unending quest for wisdom and for love. Let us join together in love in saying our affirmation. Love is our doctrine, compassion is our way. Here we seek to create a joyful home for free religious exploration, build a community of caring fellowship, nurture the hopes, and serve the needs of our world. Thank you so much, Ezra. That was amazing. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light the beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Each week, we light 3 chalices. The first is for this congregation, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Salem. And we light our second chalice for our partner church in Šimen-Falva, Transylvania, Romania. And we're so thankful for our partner church group. And we light our third chalice for our children and youth in lifespan religious education and in our world at large. All right.
Symbolically, it's lit.
And now we're going to do the Advent candles. And we're going to light the purple, and then pink. Advent is a season of waiting, of expectation, and of longing. On this third Sunday of Advent, we light one more candle on our wreath. The pink candle that represents joy. How is it, you might wonder, that we could celebrate joy when there's also so much suffering in the world? Isn't that contradictory? It's an exercise of faith to address the unknown, which can also be called the not yet known. Advent is a season of watchfulness. We listen and keep vigil for the promise of things to come. We speak and we sing about the promise of the not yet manifest, as reflected in the words of familiar hymns, O come, Emmanuel. People look east, the time is near, love, the guest, is on the way. There's a star in the east, it will lead you. These are the songs of the hopeful, songs of faith. These hymns encourage us to enter and consent to the practice of opening to possibility. Joy is one of the qualities that, if not yet present within us, will come to us in its own time. This light of joy, then, doesn't require that you experience joy now, today, in your immediate surroundings. Instead, it's a reminder to wait for it with faithfulness that overshadows pain and cynicism. May the lighting of this candle bring us patience, grant us faith, draw us closer to joy. Let us sing our flames into life.
Well, I'm Sarah Miss Molly. I was not able to be here today, but she did write and illustrate the story that I'm going to read. So, it's called Spruce's Enchanted Forest, written and illustrated by Molly Brown. Right. Once upon a time, in a magical forest, there was a little tree named Spruce. While all the other trees around him were letting their leaves fall to the ground, Spruce discovered a special magic within himself. Instead of losing his leaves, he found a way to make them shine even brighter, creating a magical glow in the midst of the changing season. As Spruce walked through the forest, he noticed his friends Pine, Oak, and Maple looking a bit sad at their leaves covered the ground. With a twinkle in his branches, Spruce gathered them around and whispered, "There's magic in change, my friends. Watch closely." He lifted his branches, and instead of the leaves falling, they transformed into a dazzling display of colors, creating a canopy of beauty that left the other trees in awe. The forest was filled with gasps of joy as Spruce shared the secret of embracing the cycle of nature. In the days that followed, Pine, Oak, and Maple began to see the beauty in letting go. Together, they created a magical holiday forest where every tree, with the leaves on the ground or branches aglow, celebrated the enchantment of the season. And also, the little trees learned that in every fall, there's a promise of more beautiful spring, and in every change, there's the magic of new beginnings. The magical holiday forest became a testament to the joy found in embracing the beauty of each moment. The end. That was really sweet. All right, and I did want to remind everybody today about the rummage giveaway. You just come bring your things you do not want, and you take a bag of things that you do want with you. And we are having excuse me, this is all in text messages. We're gonna do a parent stop and wrap day off. So you come drop your kids off, and they'll wrap presents for you. So that way you don't have to do that. And that is going to be on December 23rd from 12 to 4 p.m. here. And it's $24 per child or $6 an hour per child. All right. And there's going to be no LRE on December 24th or December 31st. So Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, no LRE program. All righty. You guys ready to go back and do some fun crafts? Oh, Annie has some birthday cards.
And I didn't see any birthdays on the list today, but I brought a couple just in case. Does anyone have a birthday this week? No? Are you sure? When's your birthday? Santa Claus will be here soon. In a few weeks? Cool. Yes, is it your birthday? What's your name, darling? Olivia. Happy birthday, Olivia. How old are you? Is it number 5? 5? Are you 5? That's fantastic. Happy birthday, Olivia. Thank you for joining us. Remember to tell me when your birthday is, okay, you guys? And always come and say hi to us, because we like seeing you guys. You guys are important to us, okay? Okay.
All right, if I could get everyone in the center to form the love arch, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
I'd like to invite you to ground yourself by focusing your mind on your breath. It's a wonderful way to bring yourself into the moment, into this particular moment. Here we are together in this room. So many people, so many different stories, so many candles lit already, telling so many stories. In the midst of all the good cheer and the boisterousness of this season, let's remember to have the calm gaze that notices those who are not happy, who are experiencing hardship, who are experiencing grief and loss. Let us be aware of one another in this room. Let us be mindful that for some this is a very difficult time. Let us always be looking at one another with the eyes of compassion. Let us always be aware that there is more than we know. There's more than we know going on underneath. Let us be compassionate with ourselves. Let us be compassionate with one another in this community. Let us be compassionate when we leave this place, so that people who wonder what we do here will know that it's something good. Let us take our compassion out into the world. For that is our way. Compassion is our way. And gratitude. Gratitude for our friends. Think now of all the friends in your life, the loved ones who support you, those who are there for you during the difficult times. Let us be grateful for friendly people who abound in the world. There's so many good and wonderful people out there. Let us be grateful to one another and for the kindness that we extend. For gratitude is our way. Compassion and gratitude. Amen.
Good morning. I'm Eric Schumann, one of your Lifeline's lay ministers. We have 5 concerns this morning. The first one is from me. Your thoughts and prayers for Bob Zeigen. He's here with us this morning. He's having a lot of trouble with his knee. The second is from Becky Harrison. A Palestinian family I know, one who attended here at our church when she came to visit her son and me. They live in the West Bank. As the slaughter of innocent people on both sides of this war continues in Gaza, the Palestinians in West Bank are not only frightened, but now have lost access to water and food and power due to the Israeli government. Please send peace, hope, and love to all of these people. The next one is from Bree and Danielle Baker. For our young friend T, who is experiencing a mental health crisis, we can't be at church today. We're visiting her at the hospital in Portland. Please send love and light to her. From Alan Holland, feeling sorrow for the families of the 3 who perished in the plane crash yesterday in Independence. And the last concern from Debbie Cordes Weaver, I pray for world peace. There were no joys expressed for today. That doesn't mean that we don't hold joys as well as sorrows in our hearts, although they are not expressed. But we light one more candle for all of those joys and sorrows not spoken this morning. Your Lifeline's lay ministers are here for you. They're here to lend a listening ear. We are represented in the fellowship hall after the service, just to the left. And at our table there, we also are having a special guest. It's Pet Therapy Day, and Kimber, a golden retriever, will be visiting. She's there for pets and hugs. You can reach us, Lifeline's lay ministers, at the email address that's on your screen, or by talking to us in the fellowship hall after the service. If you are a Lifelines lay minister, and I see Annie here, Margaret is outside, just outside the doors there. Could you stand if you're a Lifelines lay minister so people can see who you are? Thank you, Annie.
And a youth said, "Speak to us of friendship." And he answered, saying, "Your friend is your needs answered. He is your field which you sow with love and reap with thanksgiving. And he is your board and your fireside. For you come to him with your hunger, and you seek him for peace. When your friend speaks his mind, you fear not the nay in your own mind, nor do you withhold the a. When he is silent, your heart ceases not to listen to his heart. For without words, in friendship, all thoughts, all desires, all expectations are born and shared with joy that is unacclaimed. When you part from your friend, you grieve not, for that which you love most in him may be clearer in his absence, as the mountain to the climber is clearer from the plain. And let there be no purpose in friendship save the deepening of the Spirit. For love that seeks aught but the disclosure of its own mystery, us not love, but a net cast forth, and only the unprofitable is caught. And let your best be for your friend. If he must know the ebb of your tide, let him know its flood also. For what is your friend, that you should seek him with hours to kill? Seek him always with hours to live. For it is his to fill your need, but not your emptiness. And with the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed.
Thank you, Brenna, and thank you, Lorianne and Ezra, for all the beautiful music. It sure is good to see you again. It's been a while. Today, I'd like to tell you the story of how my hat, with its unique logo, which I did not choose, and my bumper sticker, which I did choose, met and joined together to provide me with some helpful guidance as I stumble down the path of life. So, in order for me to begin, we're going to have to work around your ministers, that is, my delicate sensibilities and prudish ways. which is to say that there are some words generally regarded as constituting foul language, which I am not comfortable saying from this pulpit. I'll say it elsewhere. Catch me later in the fellowship hall. But not here. It just doesn't feel right or necessary for me to use such language since you are good at translating. So I'll cut to the chase. I need to talk to you about the phenomena of steer manure, usually known by another name that is popping into your minds right now, BS. BS. The acronym is BS. There is so much of it around, spread everywhere, just as the water systems of locales with factory farms nearby are polluted by vast quantities of manure, so has modern technology greatly amplified our abilities and opportunities to BS. That's the verb, to BS. And so we are surrounded by great factory farms continually overproducing more BS than humanity has ever had to deal with before. We're swimming in it. I might even be producing some of it myself. More on that later. You may be wondering why this has come up now. Well, this whole thing landed on my head one afternoon last month when I was visiting my friend and colleague Todd Eckloff in Spokane, Washington, and we were in a gift shop that featured a local artist who had designs on his imprinted on a circular patch on the hat. And you have to look closely at what it says. It says, transcend the steer manure. I'm translating that part. And my friend quickly purchased it and placed it on my head. And I took this as a sign from the universe. And I now place this BS front and center as a subject matter before all of us so that maybe we can come to have some deeper understanding of it, what it is and what it isn't. Once I began to do a bit of reading, I could see it was worth wading deeper into this subject. All right, that's a cheap one, I know. Because I didn't really quite get it. I didn't. I have not really understood what it is, and it's very important to know, and why people do it. It's a unique term, BS, that straddles concepts, and it pulls things together in a way that no other word can do. It's both a noun and a verb, and it's very active indeed. So, if I'm going to transcend BS, I have to know what it is. And what is it? Well, you don't have to look too far to find it. There I am watching representatives from big tech testifying before Congress. They're being questioned about the damaging impact of social media on young people. And from them, the creators of algorithms that steadily diminish young girls' self-image and mental health, we hear from these people, these same people, that concern for the well-being of youth is their highest priority, blah, blah, blah. They affirm all the ways they're doing the right thing so they can tweak it, so they can protect our youth, which, of course, everyone in the large room knows is complete BS. Their primary interest is in protecting their bottom line, always has been, always will be. It reminds you of those days when the tobacco executive said there's no positive proof that smoking causes. You remember that. It just happens over and over again. Consider virtually all of the advertising and the various forms of marketing that you see. Drill down just a little bit and you'll discover that it's really BS. Some practitioners of BS take it to such virtuosic heights that they are known to us as BS artists. But when you try to clearly define BS, steer manure, you quickly learn that it's a slippery thing to grasp. You might not even want to try. Philosophers and ethicists with good grip on this slippery eel say that BS is not so easy to spot. It's not the same, get this, it is not the same as a lie. Lie is in direct opposition to the truth, whereas BS can use the truth in manipulative ways. So BS is not outright falsehood. It's not lying. So if somebody's lying to you and you say that's BS, no, it's not BS. They're lying. There's a difference. There's a difference. Now, there's an important point for you to understand here. BS should not be equated with nonsense. I say this for two reasons. One, it's true, BS is not nonsense. And two, it's good for my self-defense. I'm often accused of BSing people, of being full of BS, but in fact, it's me being full of nonsense, of silliness, of playfulness, not BS. And the reason I know is because BS has a different function. It has a particular function, and this is not it, not to entertain or amuse. That's a different story. I do that all the time. But thankfully, BS has been clearly defined by the Princeton University philosopher Harry Frankfurt, who sums it up like this. Are you ready? BS is deployed for a simple reason: to convey a certain image of the speaker or to get away with something. The intent of BS is to gain an advantage without really deceiving others about the facts. Politicians, celebrities, people who know how to make their image shine while showing a relative indifference to the spirit of truth. That is BS. Simply put, BS is faking it without really lying, says one astute observer. What turns out to be so offensive and destructive about BS is not that it's so much about fakery, but it is indifferent towards the truth. And when somebody is indifferent towards the truth, when people in general are indifferent towards the truth, it breeds cynicism. As I showed you my cynicism a while ago when I was talking about the big tech people testifying before Congress, I feel very cynical about that. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Complete indifference to objective truth has a high consequence. When truth has no standing, eventually we will all fall down in confusion and discord. BS especially thrives today because ours is an age when nihilism is thriving. That is, a lack of belief in meaning or moral order or objective truth. There's a nihilistic spirit abroad, and it reduces life to power struggles between the purveyors of BS. If everything is just BS, you can no longer get a foothold on common ground because the truth is being spun so fast and relentlessly, a perpetual conflict machine. Ours is an age of widespread nihilistic rage, and BS abounds. Which has led me to the question, who actually purveys BS? Well, my research took me to a place where I did not want to go. In fact, we have now reached a point in this reflection when I wish there could be a power failure. How about a fire drill? There could be a fire drill or something, so I won't have to tell you what I discovered about BS. But you're still sitting here waiting. Okay, I'm going to have to tell you. So the answer to the question of who produces the most BS is, here I will quote Professor Frankfurt. BS is unavoidable whenever circumstances require someone to talk without knowing what they're talking about, and thus the production of BS is stimulated whenever a person's obligations or opportunities to speak about some topic are more extensive than their knowledge of the facts that are relevant to that topic. That hits entirely too close to home. It's disappointing to me. I wanted the problem of BS to be located totally outside of myself. And this, I was alarmed to note when I read it, this description coming from the professor, it sounded a lot like ministry, as I have too often understood and practiced it. And I was stricken with a belated recognition that I have probably fertilized the fields as much as anyone, probably an occupational hazard of the ministry. This calls to mind Jesus' pointed question. Jesus said, "Why is it so easy for you to spot other people's BS, but ignore the vast quantities you are producing?" You didn't know Jesus said that, did you? Well, I think he would have said it, but so I'm putting words in his mouth a little bit. But I think it's a good question. Why is it so easy for us to spot other people's but not our own? To add to this, I think that we really can, if we are a student of our observations, you can learn to recognize the BS in other people. You have to have a good external BS detector. However, that does not mean that you have a good internal BS detector. Here we have reached a point in this reflection where you might wish there was a power failure or a fire drill, but you're stuck here and you might as well face it. Basically, what with modern technology and vast overabundance of BS coming through so many portals, coupled with the expectation that we will all have an opinion about everything in the world, this creates perfect storm conditions for many an unwitting soul to end up spending some time working in the BS factories, adding to the world's store of BS. So I discovered that I think I do it. I'll try not to. And it's good to be humble. But it's also good not to lose sight of a larger concern in regards to what we're calling BS. You and I, we mostly BS because we're not paying attention to what we think and say or how grounded in truth or objective reality it might be, plus which everybody else is doing it, so it's kind of the norm, but this isn't driven by malicious intent. But then there are the truly nihilistic BSers who do not have our interests at heart. They have only their interests, their party, their faction. And since they are indifferent to the truth, since they have no core morality that keeps them from harming others, since they are skilled at what they do, you have to be skilled not to get taken in by the BS coming from them. There are many BS factories that want you to consume their product. They often believe in it themselves, and they are skilled at manipulating the truth, spinning the truth to get their way. Thinking about this, I think about it too much. And sometimes when I'm by myself, I get bent out of shape. I get perturbed, and I think about a situation or something, and they're not telling the truth, and they know it. They're telling the truth, but they're spinning the truth. I get so upset. I want to call out the people who use BS to bamboozle and manipulate and gain power and divide us from one another. The toxic stuff. There's some toxic stuff out there. It's destructive of the common good. And I can get bent out of shape when I start thinking about this. Maybe I need to transcend. I don't know. And then I realize that for the good of my soul, I need to be very careful and not get swept up into my own BS. Recognizing your own BS is perhaps even more important than recognizing the BS coming from the outside. And I realize that for the good of all, what I really need is a timeout sometime to regain my perspective, because I can talk to myself in ways that are not helpful. I need a timeout every day, actually, every day, away from the magnetic pull of malign thoughts and feelings. Maybe go outside and look at the sky or the clouds and the light, the limbs against the sky in the winter. Say hello to the neighbors passing by, all the life around you. Or go inward and center yourself in meditation or prayer. Or perhaps if you're like me, and I know that I am, listen to Beethoven. It was his birthday yesterday. It was great to hear you play him today. Or once again, if you're like me, one good thing that you can do is go out and look at your bumper sticker, my bumper sticker. It reminds me of who I want to be, who I need to be, and who the world needs me to be. How many of you remember my bumper sticker? A few of you. Well, it's okay. It was last year. You may remember that some of you, last year I did a sermon. It was called My Quest for the Perfect Bumper Sticker. I did this about a year ago. And I can now happily report to you that after a year of driving around with my bumper sticker, I do indeed find it to be my perfect bumper sticker. It really is. You may remember that at the end of my bumper sticker quest, and I entertained all sorts of possible options, but finally, at the end of my quest, I realized what I wanted my bumper sticker to say. And it just says two words. It's sort of like a dark blue background, and the golden letters simply say, your friend. Your friend. Hey, there we go. He knew. Somebody did. Your friend. So that's what it says to one and all. That's my bumper sticker. It's my understanding of ministry, too, really. It's pretty simple. To be a friend, your friend. That's who I want to be. For me, friendship is a sacred building block. Trusting, loving friendship is a sacred building block in our lives. So I did the sermon and I put that bumper sticker on. It's there. It's been there for a year. And I was nervous at first. I was afraid as soon as I pulled into the parking lot, people were going to be lining up for loans. I was their friend. A soft touch. I was advertising maybe that I was a soft touch. But so far, I've drawn no comments. But I can't help but imagine that it catches people pleasantly by surprise to see a bumper sticker that simply says, your friend. And I hope that it helps create, in some small way, a friendlier world. I have no idea what impact this bumper sticker has on other people, but I know what impact it has on me. It reminds me, again and again, of who I want to be in very simple terms. Living up to that promise of my bumper sticker is important to me. Years ago, as I was first discovering my spiritual path, I began reading the Trappist priest Thomas Merton. And although he was a Christian and I was suspicious of them at the time, I found myself drawn in by his positive appreciation for Buddhism. So I liked Merton. And in Merton, I found a true friend, even as he was a friend to everyone. Merton lived a monastic life of solitude and prayer along with the other monks in the monastery near Louisville, Kentucky. But then one day, in 1958, Merton went into town on an errand in Louisville, Kentucky. And as he walked down the street, looking at the crowds of people, he had an experience. A mystical experience, I think you could call it, and he wrote about it in his journal. In Louisville, at the corner of 4th and Walnut, and Merton would like it, it's now the corner of Muhammad Ali Boulevard in Walnut, but then it was 4th and Walnut. In the center of the shopping district, I was suddenly overwhelmed by the realization that I loved all these people, that they were mine and I theirs, that we could not be alien to one another even though we were total strangers. It was like waking from a dream of separateness, of spurious self-isolation in a special world. Then it was as if I suddenly saw the secret beauty of their hearts, the depth of their hearts, where they neither sin nor desire nor self-knowledge can reach, the core of their reality, the person that each one is in God's eyes. If, Merton writes, if people could only see themselves as they really are, if we can only see each other that way all the time, there would be no more war, no more hatred, no more cruelty, no more greed. What a vision that was. I love that vision. Did you know this is the only mystical experience that has its own historical marker? It's there in Louisville, Kentucky. Merton is so beloved by so many people, they actually put up a marker testifying to his experience there. For me, my vision, I didn't have a mystical vision like that. I do love people, though. My vision has been shaped more and more over the years by my encounters with so many people during my ministry. We've traveled together as friends, and I am conscious of just some of what you have to deal with. I know some about your sorrows and your challenges, and I'm always mindful that each person I meet faces the same things that I face and that you face. Our common mortality puts us in the same boat. And knowing this, I do feel compassion. I do feel compassion. I want to be your friend. I want to be a friend to people around me. The British author G.K. Chesterton noted, we are all in the same boat in a stormy sea, and we owe each other a terrible loyalty. We owe friendship to one another, free of ill will, full of goodwill. And the question always arises whenever I see someone or anyone, how can I be their friend right now? How can I promote their happiness and well-being under the circumstances that we're in at this particular moment? How can I do that? It's always a good question. I hope you'll ask it. Would you join me for a time of prayerful reflection as you think about your life and all the things that pull you down into the realms of anger and anxiety? Please remember that you can let go. You can let go and you can float above the gravitational pull of those forces, that you might see life more steadily and more whole. And so we come to this place. We gather together in this room, being together, feeling our presence together, looking at the highest hopes and dreams that we have together, that we might be friends, that we might be friends to one another, that we might be friends to all those out there in the world who so desperately need one. May it be so. Amen.
We support UUCS through our pledges, our time, and our connections with one another. We support the Salem community through donations to the Marion Polk Food Share, which can be placed in the little red wagon that is coming up the aisle. And for the month of December, the Interfaith Movement for Immigrant Justice, or IMIRJ. The Interfaith Movement for Immigrant Justice is an organization made up of diverse faith communities, faith leaders, and individuals called by our conscience to respond actively and publicly to the suffering of our immigrant brothers and sisters in the U.S. due to unjust immigration policies. Please send your checks to UUCS or visit the website, or you may put your offerings into the red bags that will be passed down the aisles. Thank you for maintaining the community of UUCS and for helping the wider community of Salem.
There's a lot going on around here, always is, and I love to see it. There is going to be our Board of Trustees. Bless their hearts for serving on the board, and thank you for coming up and having a forum so they can ask all sorts. You can ask all sorts of questions and finding out about the search for the next person who stands up here and does what I'm doing. That's a year or so down the road, so please do stick around for that. Next Sunday morning, there's going to be a nice service here. Come sing, song, and have a brunch. And it's going to be in Hanneman Hall. We're not even going to meet in here, but it's going to be fun. And I'm really grateful to the folks who are pulling that together. And then on Christmas Eve at 7 p.m., please do join us. It's a service we put a lot of our heart into. And we hope that you'll come, and the rest of the community will come too. So please do show up for the Christmas Eve service. Also, I want to add in the day before on December the 23rd at 3 p.m., we're hosting, my wife, Gordana, and I are hosting a reception for our son, Zachary, and his new wife, Emily, in case you'd like to meet her. If you've never met my son, Zachary, or Emily, please come anyway. We'd love to have you. Just a light reception at 3 next Saturday afternoon. So please do join us for that. If you'd like to get the newsletter, and I hope you will if you don't get it already, all you have to do is contact the office and you'll be getting it. And you can see all the good things that are happening around here from week to week. So I do believe that's all the announcements that we have. Somebody's pointing at something. I think I have one. Yeah, I got one in paper here. I wanted to, it says, a big thank you from the Women's Alliance for your support of the Holiday Bazaar last Sunday. There are still several poinsettias and other lovely items which can be purchased at 50% off today during the, did I say that right? 50% off during the coffee hour after the service today. So, oh yes, come on up here, Teresa, and you have an announcement as well, and I told you could do it, so
Thank you.
come on up.
Hi, I'm Teresa Farnham, and I want to talk to you briefly about the fledgling program of Chalice Circles. We piloted last spring, and we started in the fall. Excuse me. Both programs offer the opportunities to be a part of a small group. They meet once a month. There are preparatory materials and discussion questions. They differ in that connections topics are introspective, and the discussion is about feelings. Chalice Circles, the topics are external societal issues, and the discussion is about opinions. For example, this fall, our topics were homelessness, LGBTQ issues, artificial intelligence, and defending democracy. The January topic is the Israeli-Hamas conflict. For this meeting only, we are inviting anyone who would like to attend as a sample of Chalice Circles, and we're offering the opportunity to attend that, to join it. And this is the only opportunity because we do keep the groups consistent so that people get to know each other. The meetings that we're inviting you to are on Monday evening, January 9th, from 6:30 till 8, and Tuesday afternoon from 2 till 3:30. Registration is required. It's very simple. I'll be in Fellowship Hall, and I'll just ask you for your name and email and which would you like to attend, the evening one or the afternoon. Or it'll be in the emails as well, my information to contact me. Thank you. Hope to see you.
Thank you, Teresa. And yeah, I'm in one of the groups too, so they're really interesting, a lot of fun. So I would encourage you to sign up for one of those. Thank you.
We take the light from our chalice, lighting the social justice lantern, as a symbolic reminder of the light and justice we carry out into the world. As we extinguish our chalices, let us hear these words from Laura Lynn Bellamy. If here you found freedom, take it with you out into the world. If you have found comfort, go and share it with others. If you have dreamed dreams, help one another. They may come true. If you have known love, give some back to a bruised and hurting world. Go in peace.
And would you now rise in body or spirit as you are able as we sing our closing hymn. This is in the Teal Book, number 1007. There's a river flowing in my soul.
There's a
Let us join with our community members, guests, family, and friends saying these words together. May faith in the Spirit of life, hope for the community of earth, and love for the sacred in one another be ours now and in all the days to come. Blessed be.
Hey, you thought we were through, but I have one more announcement. One more announcement. One more announcement. One more announcement, sorry. There are Christmas ornaments for the children on the tree. Children should feel free to help themselves to a Christmas tree ornament from the Women's Alliance. Please do come.